the wake of Elestrals' largest tournament ever, the Dallas Open, people right now are wondering how the meta will shift and adjust and what they should be playing in order to do so. So today we're going to go through and take a look at the top 8 cards that you should consider when trying to top 8 in tomorrow's tournament. The first card that you should be considering for this weekend's tournament is Hurricane. Now, I know recently I said that a lot of people are respecting Hurricane and only setting one, so Hurricane has gotten to the point where it was a bad card. But very quickly, people adapted, starting to just realize that people were no longer playing Hurricane and just stopped respecting it very quickly. So the fact that they just aren't respecting it, setting multiple runes, means Hurricane is kind of to the point where it's getting a little strong now and can easily take a game by surprise. Plus the fact that a lot of the artifact decks that are running around heavily rely on their Argo, and getting that one combat trick off means that you can easily shut down their Argo play even if it is just one rune. Sometimes it's worth it because Argo can be a huge swing in tempo for scrap type decks. The second card that you need to be considering, at least in your side deck, is Boombat. Now at first this card is very unassuming just looking at it as a 2-1, but the fact that you can easily just Nexus to it and then make it go boom, destroy an Elestral, and then threaten to do it every single turn, makes Boombat extremely strong. Not to mention if you're playing it with a scrap deck, like if you're playing with Kinleo or Equalinks, you can easily just Nexus to it, pop a rune, then pop the Boombat ability, destroy an Elestral, and threaten to continuously do that every single turn until they're capable of dealing with one or the other of the two pieces. So Boombat is a card that you really should consider, especially with the lack of removal right now in the game. Since I just mentioned Boombat, I might as well mention the card that is going to kill Boombat in the list, and that is Dense Fog. Dense Fog not only is extremely good against cards like Boombat itself, for the fact that you can easily make them just play a 2-1 out, Dense Fog, make it so that Boombat can't do anything, and then save your big guys with it, and then swing over next turn. Primarily, Dense Fog for Boombat is going to be in like the big guy matchups. However, Dense Fog is also very good against Scrap, not allowing them to, making them Nexus, but not allowing them to utilize the second portion of their ability. Because if you chain Dense Fog on the first part of their ability, they're incapable of activating the second part of the Nexus. So not only can they destroy a Nexus bank in doing that, but it also negates that ability for cheaper than a Gorgon's Gaze. So with Scrap being very popular and Argo type decks being very popular, Dense Fog is a card to look out for, especially in your sideboard. Now this next card is a little more niche and not very many people are looking at it right now, but a very good card against the meta is Pandora's Box. Not only will this destroy artifact type decks that are looking to utilize Argo, this also is very good against big guy turbo type decks that want to search out their deck. It can cancel Elegic effect, it can cancel Nabi effect, it can cancel Windjin's effect to search for Tornijin, it can cancel Draco Ray, Nabi, the list goes on, because a lot of people are playing just an immense amount of search of Elestrals. Plus also the scrap type decks are currently playing Rummagem to enable them to just play an onslaught of 1s for their Earth Elestrals, so it can also shut down that too. There's just a lot of things right now that Pandora's Box actively shuts down, and it can kind of act as though it's a little bit of a pseudo-secondary Gorgons for you. Even though it is not nearly as powerful as it, it's still pretty strong because Gorgons can't necessarily negate Argo or stuff like that. Before we get to the second half of the list, I want to remind everybody just real quick to like the video and subscribe, as it does help out a lot. Now let's get back to the video. And our fifth card on the list is none other than Spoiled Fruit. I probably mention this in every single video that I make. Spoiled Fruit is good. Healing is good. Healing is super strong. People just don't like playing healing for the most part, which is why it's not a prominent meta deck that's always played. However, Spoiled Fruit easily kills healing decks, even though it doesn't necessarily full-blown kill it. It helps stop the bleeding against these healing decks, because only having 3 copies to stop healing isn't going to stop a deck that's whole purpose is for healing. However, this can stop the bleeding a little bit and help you win the game. Now, this next card is just a little bit of a personal favorite of mine that I'm a little biased towards, but I also think is extremely strong, and people who have tried it out ended up going top 8 in Dallas or stuff like that. So the next card is Warmite. Now, Warmite looks unassuming as a 3-1 body. You're like, yeah, that's easy to swing over. But it's essentially a 7 attacker when it comes down, as long as it's attacking into an attack position Elestral that's not like Galaxy. So it's a 7 attacker if you just every single turn utilize its ability. And also, if you pair it with Zeus, this thing can kill anything that is below a 10 attacker, which is nuts, the fact that it just can do that. Like, not only does it not have to pay to -4 attack every single turn, so you can kind of force them into playing their Necklace of Harmonia for Argo decks also. This just pairs very well with Zeus to just be a menace of an Elestral, in my opinion. And the final card on the top 8 list is probably the most powerful against specifically Argo decks, and that's Rhinosect. This card hasn't really been seen too much. It kind of appears every once in a while, but other than that, it doesn't really do much. However, Sir Tractor this last weekend brought Rhinosect and then ended up winning, because everybody forgot one thing about Rhinosect. It just says destroy empowered Elestral. You don't necessarily have to destroy the Elestral that you empower with Rhinymph, so you can easily, on the turns where you just somehow have 2 Rhinosect in hand, you can, and the Rhinymph utilize its Rhinymph ability attached to one, bring both of your Rhinosects out, and if they're attached with an artifact from Argo or something like that, you can literally just destroy both Elestrals right on the spot, because it says destroy empowered Elestrals, so you can easily do that. Against Argo decks, this card is really strong. Against non-Argo decks, you can easily just use it with Rhinymph and destroy one Elestral, and then it's just a very large attacker that can never be cryoblasted. So this is an extremely strong card in my opinion. That was a great call in the metagame by Sir Tractor to bring to last weekend's PNM. Those are the top 8 cards that I think you should consider this weekend while trying to top 8. Let me know in the comments below what you think of these cards. Would you run any other cards, or do you think my suggestions are bad? Let's have a conversation down there. If you enjoy this kind of content, be sure to like and subscribe, as I do post a few times a week. I hope you all have a good day, and peace.